a new highlighter, which is the Devotion line, which does have, as I knock things over, everyone. Today we have a little bit of a different video. Half my face is done in an older formulation of the brand, and the other half is done in the new formulation of the brand, except for the foundation. Foundation is all the new one because I threw out the old one. So if you're interested in seeing the brand and which is which, stay tuned. Hey everybody, so today we are going to discover whether Dolce & Gabbana has gotten better with their new formulations and their new branding, or worse. And spoiler alert, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Some things are a lot better, some things I wish they had kept the same. Like most of the time, right? It's not black and white. There's some really great improvements, and then there's some things that I think they could really work on. So let's just go through the products. First, the foundation that I have on my face is all over my face, and this is the Dolce & Gabbana. This is like the skin tint. It's the Hydra Glow and Fresh Skin Tint. I actually love this product. The only reason it's kind of stayed in my drawer and I don't talk about it a lot is it came out in a similar time period as the Lisa Eldridge Skin Enhancer. So the Skin Enhancer kind of, you know, put everything else to the side. But this is a great product. It's really lightweight. It goes on beautifully on my skin. It gives a great glow. It looks really good. It doesn't have, I don't think it has a scent. Let me just double check that. Hold on. I don't get a scent out of it. It has a great nozzle top, like this little round ball at the top, so that you don't get, you know, caking basically of the foundation on the top. It has, I think this has the blueberry extract in it. It's an excellent skin tint. And honestly, for anybody who wants something they can travel with, this is a really great one as well, because this is plastic and it doesn't, you know, you're not gonna worry about a glass breaking or something. You just shake it up and you put it on the back of your hand and put it on your face. And you can see as I put it on, like it actually warms up a little bit on my skin. I think I have the lightest shade. I'll make sure the numbers are down below. But, you know, if I didn't have the Lisa Eldridge, I'd buy this. It's extremely good. And it has a similar feel. It's completely weightless. There's like no real, you don't really look like you have foundation on. You don't look like you have powder on. It's just, it's a skin tint. But it's a really good one. And I think it actually moisturizes and keeps my skin moisturized throughout the day. So it's a really great product. I do have that all over my face. I don't have my old Dolce & Gabbana foundation. I did have one, but I threw that out a long time ago. All right, so let's get into the bronzers, the blush, and the highlighter. The bronzer, the old one, is this one that's in the old Sicilian packaging, which I have to say I love very much. On my dad's side, I am Sicilian, and I feel like the packaging was just really unique and really beautiful. This is in 30 Sunrise. This is the shade. And this is actually a little bit deeper and a little bit cooler than the new one that I have, which is, which one, what number is this? This is 02 Light Medium. You can see that the packaging is similar, the square, but the covers, of course, there's no comparison. The new one's heavier. You definitely feel like there's more weight to it. I don't know if there's actually more product or not because I don't have the old box, but you can see just by size, this one's a bigger product. When you look at the two actually in swatches, this is the old one, this is the new one. You can see they're very similar. There's really not that much difference between the colors, except the new one is lighter in pigment, in tone. It is not as pigmented as the old one. Here's the old one, here's the new one. But there may be I got light medium, so maybe medium is more like this one. I don't really know. But this one is a little bit cooler, the older one. So I prefer the older one, the color, because it's a little bit cooler. But honestly, the foundations are basically the same. They're really not that different. I think this one is actually very good. Like I said, it has weight to it, but I do like the old packaging. In my opinion, I like the old packaging better. But again, it's a good product. It's not my favorite bronzer. I think, again, because it's a little yellow on me. It's not bad. It's on this side of the face. This is the old over here. And I think you can see though that the older one is a little bit deeper and this one's a little bit lighter. The blush. The old blush actually is a cream blush, and it is Tangerine. It's the only blush that I ever picked up from Dolce & Gabbana that was by itself. I do have a Dolce & Gabbana one that's pink and a highlighter on it, but I don't have one that's just a blush. And this is a great blush. You'll see me putting it on. It's really pigmented for a cream, like super pigmented for a cream. And again, the packaging I think was cool because this was a particular collection that Dolce did. And you know, it's the most pigmented cream blush that I've actually ever seen. So I have to say that one is one of my favorites. Usually with cream blushes, it dies down pretty quickly. This one does not. This one you have to be a little bit careful with because it's very strong. The new Dolce blush, again, is a powder blush, and I have it in mauve. And actually, this is probably I don't know if it's my favorite product from the new Dolce line, but it's close. The blushes are excellent, very pigmented, really smoothing, really good. These are absolutely worth picking up. Again, I think it kind of goes under the radar because the packaging I just don't think is as interesting, but it's well done. It's nice. And honestly, the blushes are excellent. I keep saying I want to pick up more blushes, and I do. It's just that I have so much makeup that I just don't need them. So I'm trying not to spend money where I don't need to. So I have it. Highlighter. So the highlighter that I used is actually in this Sicilian packaging as well. Again, one of my favorites. And I used the highlighter from this bronzer highlighter duo. And the reason I use this one instead of the one that I have with the blush is the one that I have with the blush is whiter. This one has a little bit more warmth to it, a little bit more peach almost. And I used this on this side of the face. You'll see it in a second. And it's a beautiful highlighter. The bronzers and the highlighters in the old Dolces are some of my favorites. I love them. I think even the blush, the powder blush is beautiful. They really did a fantastic job, and the packaging was just like, so good. However, the new highlighter, which is the Devotion highlighter, which is in the new packaging, does have like a cool heart design on it. I do like this. And this is actually one of my favorite highlighters that came out. I think it's a really good highlighter. It's kind of got more of that peachy tone, a little bit of gold. It doesn't look that different from the one that I had from before. That's why I chose that one instead of the white one. I'd say that the new highlighter is better than the old one. I like the peachy tone to it. It's going to work on a lot of people. It has not too much pink, not too much gold, and the formula is excellent. It's really good. I've been using that for a long time, and I have barely made a dent in it. So it's a very smooth, finely milled highlighter. One thing to mention about highlighters, Dolce used to have these Solar Glow liquids. Now, I've had these for a long time. I didn't use these because they now look like goop in here. I'm fairly sure these are now bad. But again, you can see that they have the Sicilian packaging on the top of them. And what these are like glow primers. And Dolce does have a glow primer that came in a tube. I do have it. I didn't use it today because I didn't want to use one of these because I felt like if I use this, I think I might break out because these are really old cream products, and I just, on my hand, fine, but on my face, you can see how beautiful that is. The new one that's in the tube, and I'll make sure I link the video when I used it, is really nice, and it's a really good primer, but it's not glowy like this. It doesn't have this type of luminosity to it. These products, the Solar Glow products that Dolce did, they were absolutely phenomenal. The whole Solar Glow line that Dolce did, one of the best ever made. So I don't feel like the new primer is that at all. I think the new primer is nice and moisturizing, but it's not something that I would go on and on about like I do about the Solar Glows. Now, the eyeshadows. This is where I would say Dolce actually made a huge improvement. This is the old Dolce eye. Now, when you look at it, you're going to see it's actually quite beautiful. This is the packaging. This was a leopard packaging thing that they did. And I have like 3 or 4 of these. I can't really remember, to be honest with you. This one is the one that's closest to the color story that I have in the new jewel toned one. And it is actually quite nice on the eye. It really is very smoothing. It's very good for a more mature eye, but they're generally like satiny mattes. The only satiny shade in here is the goldish shade. The rest of them are really more mattes. So if you were looking for something with a little bit more dazzle, a little bit more something, they didn't really have that in that particular collection. And the formulas were really good, but if you notice, like the pans are really tiny, like really tiny. And then you have all this just extra space. I never really understood why they did that, because let's face it, even if they make the pan narrower, people want to see the shadows taking up most of the compact. So I don't know why they had them be so tiny, but anyway. But the formulas were good. They were. Dolce always had great powders, and I really liked their line. They were just impossible to get because they were always overseas. In the US, they were impossible to get. I always got mine from Harrods. The new one, which is very cool packaging, and I have to say I do love this gemstone reflective, whatever this is. This one's beautiful, and the formula in here is amazing. I would strongly encourage you to pick this up while you still can. I think it's at Nordstrom right now. And this one is amazing looking. It's really beautiful. Not only does it have some cool tones in it, but it's got a gold shade in here that you'll see me putting on. It looks so good. And this is what the difference is between the two eyes. I think you can see they both are beautiful, and they both, you know, can really accentuate the eye and make a really nice look. And actually the shades are very similar, but this one is just more, impressive. Like it's got some shimmer to it, luminosity to it, mattes to it. And putting it on was super easy. It's really easy to use and just glides on effortlessly. So I really hope that Dolce makes more of that gemstone collection with more shades. This one was like a cool tone with a little bit of that warmth gold, which I love. But I hope they do, you know, numerous different color stories in that formula, because it's extremely good. I would say it's user-friendly and very creamy. It's not a powdery formula. The shimmer in there is luminous but not piecey. I think it'll work really well on a mature eye, but I think it'll work on a younger eye easy. It's really good. It might be one of my favorite new formulas that have come out. It reminds me a little bit of the Yves Saint Laurent, and I don't think it's getting enough hype, to be honest, but that's another thing that we'll get to in a minute. And if you've never watched me before, hi, my name is Jennifer. I was makeup artist for Chanel half a lifetime ago. And here on my channel, we do all things luxury. I post 3 times a week, sometimes more, it depends on my schedule. And if you haven't already, I would love it if you would subscribe. Go ahead and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss anything. Back to Dolce & Gabbana. Then mascaras. The old mascara is this mascara, which I probably shouldn't have used because it's old. This is the last one I have though. It's not as old as it is. I mean, I had backups, and this is the last one I've opened. This was one of my favorite mascaras ever. And it's a great mascara. It's lengthening and thickening and beautiful, and like the blackest black, and they don't have it anymore. Yeah, it was absolutely stunning, and I love the look that it gives. The new one can give a very similar look. This is the Devotion mascara, but the thing about this is that the brush just takes some getting used to. It's this triangle, almost Christmas tree type brush that is got a swirly in the middle of it, if that makes, like it's turned. So when you're doing it, it just feels a little weird, but as you can see from my lashes, it actually does lengthen and volumize quite well, and very similar outcome to the other eye. So although I don't like the brush as much, I gotta say the look, the end result is pretty similar. So, you know, who am I to quibble with the actual results? Lipsticks. So what I did is I used one of the new Juicy Lips, and then I used the old Dolce & Gabbana lip gloss, lip balm. And again, the packaging in the old one is just so much cooler. But the new one is much more pigmented and has more of that like juicy, almost plumping look to it. There's no warmth to it. There's no tingling, nothing like that. But it makes your lips look a little bit fuller, and it's definitely more pigmented, and I really enjoy it. The satin is also beautiful. Both the lipsticks I really enjoy. I haven't tried a matte from them. I don't have a new Dolce gloss. I do have the old glosses, and you have to say, like the Royal glosses from Dolce, the old ones, they were spectacular. Like the packaging, the gloss, everything was just 10 out of 10. So I hope they come up with something similar to this. I don't know if they will, but that, I mean, I don't know how you top that, so we'll see. Powder. The new powder versus the old powder. This one is going to be like very clear. The old powder is the Solar Glow that I was talking about, the Solar Glow line that had the primers in it. This is one of the best powders. No, this is the best powder ever created. It goes on, it brightens your face. There's nothing there. It looks like nothing. You can use it on your face with nothing on it. It's called bare face powder, and it makes your skin look perfected. It is the best product, maybe the #1 best product ever made, in my opinion. It's that good. It's like the Lisa Eldridge skin enhancer. It was a limited edition item. I told everyone it was a limited edition. Then they came out with the new powder, and it's called Fig Skin Perfector. And although it looks very similar, it is not the same. And not only is it not the same, it just doesn't have the same brightening effect. You can even see it on camera. I mean, I can see it looking in the mirror. This side of my face looks brighter than this side of my face. I don't know what was in the Solar Glow. I don't know why they made it limited edition, and then when they came out this Fig Skin Perfector, they couldn't make it the same. I don't know what happened. But if there's any way for Dolce to bring back the Solar Glow powder, I would buy like 10 of them. Hands down, if you can get your hands on it, it's worth it. It's the most beautiful, perfecting powder. And I have very dry skin, and it works perfectly on me. It works perfectly on people with oily skin, mature skin, young skin. It does not matter. It is like a miracle. I don't know what's in it, and I don't know how it works. And frankly, I don't even care because it's so perfect. The new one doesn't even come close. I mean, it's just the truth. So overall, when I'm thinking about Dolce and like what they've done, I have a similar feeling to it that I do about Guerlain. There are some things that I actually think are, and I think this is about Guerlain too, and I'll do a video on it. I think there's some things that are actually better, and in some cases, like the eyeshadow, I think it's a huge improvement. So I'm very, very fond of the eyeshadow. I think the lip gloss, lip balm, whatever you want to call it, the glossy lip is definitely better. The blush is stunning. I really love the blush. But although the highlighter is really nice, the old highlighters were really, really nice. The new one's better, the color, but the formula, it was always beautiful. The blushes were always beautiful. The new one, again, stunning, but they were always really good. Bronzer, I think I like the old one a little bit better. The tones were a little cooler, so I like that. This skin tint is excellent. I don't think they had a skin tint before. I think it was a foundation. So that's a huge improvement. The Solar Glow primers, I wish they'd have these kind of glowy primers. The new one's good. It is, it's good, I like it. But, you know, it's more of just like a neutral, like, moisturizing primer. I would like something a little bit more glow in it. And like I said, the powder, the old one was definitely better. So I think Dolce is going in the right direction. I just feel like this idea to bring like all the packaging into uniformity, I get the idea so that you, like a Chanel thing, right? You know the packaging, you know it's Dolce. But to be honest, this is a very old Italian, specifically Sicilian brand. Keep the unique packaging. Do the Dolce collection with the devotion heart. Do the bejeweled collection. Make the packaging interesting. If you want to have these for like the main line, fine, these are your core line. But then make sure you have a devotion line and a bejeweled line and a majolica line and like a leopard line, whatever. Keep that fun to it because that's what makes these types of products interesting. In my opinion, there's so many good products on the market now, and there's a lot of small niche brands that are frankly doing as good of formulas, if not better, than luxury. You're gonna have to give us something interesting to make us want to buy it. And it can't just be an excellent product. It needs to be an excellent product, but it needs to be more than that. It needs to spark joy. It needs to bring some uniqueness to the table. It needs to be something creative. And Dolce had that. And I think they have elements in the new releases they've done, but they need to make it more consistent because they really haven't done that yet. Overall, I would say I like the direction in the products, in the formulas, in the actual ability to, you know, use the makeup to get the look that you want. I just feel like I don't want them to lose the individuality that they had before. I know the two are hard to mesh, not disputing that, but you know, I would hate to see it all go to this, which again is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's weighty, it's, you know, but I would hate it to go to that from this. This is fun. This is like, oh, it's unique, it's different. So you pull it out of your bag and people are like, what is that? I hope they keep some of that. And with this new Bejeweled eyeshadow, maybe they are. Again, that is definitely worth picking up if you haven't already. I think it's at Nordstrom. I'll make sure it's linked below. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on Dolce, whether you picked up any of the new products, any of your thoughts on any of this. And I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you in another video really soon.